Gentlemen, let me ask you something deeply personal. When you wake up in the morning, do you still feel like a man? Do you still have that spark, the energy, the drive, the confidence you once had? Or have your mornings grown quiet, your strength fading, and your desire slipping away? I meet men every day who whisper, "Doctor, I just don't feel like myself anymore." But here's the shock. The real solution isn't in a pill or a supplement. It's sitting right there on your breakfast table. A simple morning food that can bring your vitality roaring back even after 60. I'm Dr. Moit Kara, a urologist with over 30 years of experience helping men restore their strength naturally. I've studied male health for decades, testosterone, blood flow, and what keeps a man alive in both body and spirit. And after all these years, I've learned one truth. Age doesn't destroy your manhood. The wrong habits do. Most men think they lose their power because of age, but that's not true. What's really happening is that your body is starving for one specific nutrient that your arteries, hormones, and nerves desperately need. And once you give it back, your system wakes up like it's 20 again. So here's my promise to you. I'll show you how one simple morning food can restore your stamina, energy, and confidence in a way no drug ever could completely naturally, safely, and scientifically. Stay with me because in the next few minutes, I'll reveal exactly what this food is, when to eat it, and why it changes everything for men over 60. Before we begin, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and tap the bell icon so you'll never miss another video designed to help men over 60 stay strong, healthy, and confident. And if you find this message helpful, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and tell me what I can do to make these health lessons even better for you. Now, gentlemen, let's get into the truth behind why your vitality starts to fade after 60. It's not just age or hormones. It's what's happening inside your blood vessels every single day. When circulation weakens, energy drops, confidence slips, and everything that once felt natural starts to disappear. Let me explain why. Why men start losing vitality after 61. Why men start losing vitality after 60. Gentlemen, I've spent more than 3 decades listening to men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond tell me the same quiet confession. "Doctor, I just don't feel like myself anymore." They don't say it loudly. It usually comes out after a pause, a sigh, and sometimes with a hint of embarrassment, but I can always see it in their eyes. They're not talking about aging. They're talking about losing that spark that once made them feel alive. Here's what I tell them every single time. Your body hasn't failed you. It's just slowing down because your blood vessels are aging faster than you are. Think of your blood flow as a river that once ran strong and clear. Over time, that river collects sediment, cholesterol, toxins, inflammation that narrows its path. The result? The organs that once received abundant oxygen and nutrients now get just a trickle. And that includes your most private organ, the one that used to respond instantly when you felt desire. This decline in circulation is subtle at first. Maybe you start waking up tired. Maybe your mind feels foggy. Maybe the confidence you used to carry into the bedroom feels a little weaker. You chalk it up to age, but deep down it bothers you. You miss that effortless strength, the feeling of being ready for life, for work, for love. The truth is, this isn't just about testosterone or libido. It's about energy itself. When your blood doesn't move freely, every system in your body struggles. Your heart works harder, your muscles fatigue faster, and your brain loses its edge. You begin to feel disconnected from the man you used to be. But what if I told you that your body still remembers? That deep inside those blood vessels, your vitality is waiting to flow again. All it needs is the right signal, the right nutrition, the right morning start. Because here's the thing, I've seen men in their 70s reverse this decline completely. They didn't need surgery or expensive drugs. They needed one simple change in their breakfast routine, something that opened the river again. And in just a moment, I'll show you exactly what that is and why it can turn back the clock on your energy faster than you'd ever believe. 2. The science of morning energy. The science of morning energy. Every morning between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m., your body performs a quiet miracle. While you sleep, your hormones rise and fall like ocean tides, and by dawn, testosterone reaches its highest level of the day. It's nature's way of giving you a head start. Energy, confidence, and strength, all built into your biology. But here's the part most men don't realize. What you choose to eat right after waking can either fuel that power or shut it down before the day even begins. When I ask my older patients about their mornings, many tell me they grab a cup of coffee, maybe skip breakfast altogether, or reach for a sweet pastry. They think they're saving time or keeping calories low. But what they're really doing is robbing their body of the fuel it needs to maintain testosterone and blood flow. The body is like an engine. It needs high-quality fuel, especially in the morning when hormones are most responsive. Feed it sugar or processed food, and you trigger insulin spikes that crush your energy, clog your vessels, and suppress testosterone production. Feed it the right nutrients, and you amplify everything your body naturally wants to do: heal, strengthen, and perform. I remember a patient named Frank, 68, who came to me exhausted every morning despite sleeping well. His blood work looked fine, but his mornings were a struggle. Once we changed his breakfast, just one simple adjustment, his energy transformed within days. He told me, "Doc, I didn't know I could feel this awake again." That's the power of syncing your diet with your natural rhythm. Because what happens in those first waking hours determines the kind of man you'll be for the rest of the day: strong or sluggish, vibrant or drained. And the secret, gentlemen, lies in one humble food that most of you already have in your kitchen. Let me show you exactly what it is and how to use it to unlock that morning power. 3. The secret food every man over 60 should the secret food every man over 60 should eat. Now, gentlemen, here's the part that surprises almost every patient who sits across from me. After years of expensive supplements, failed treatments, and endless frustration, the secret to lasting vitality turns out to be one of the simplest and most accessible foods on earth: the humble egg. I can already hear the doubt in your mind, doctor. An egg. How could something so ordinary bring back energy, stamina, and confidence? But the truth is, nature hid extraordinary power inside this small shell. And when you eat it the right way, at the right time, your body responds almost instantly. Inside each egg is a perfect balance of nutrients designed for strength and repair. L-arginine, an amino acid, acts like nature's key. It opens blood vessels, increases circulation, and lets oxygen flow freely to every part of your body, including the one that defines your manhood. Zinc and vitamin D work like twin engines, reigniting testosterone production and restoring the hormone that fuels your confidence, muscle tone, and desire. Then there's selenium, choline, and vitamin B12, a trio that sharpens the brain, strengthens nerves, and lifts the fog that often comes with aging. Together, they form a symphony of renewal, each nutrient supporting the next to restore balance and vigor. I remember one of my patients, Harold, 71 years old. He came to me tired, quiet, and frustrated. We started simple: 2 soft-boiled eggs each morning, 30 minutes after waking. By week 2, his voice had changed. There was energy in it again, a tone I hadn't heard before. "Doc," he said, smiling, "my mornings are different now. My wife noticed before I did. That's when I knew he wasn't just eating breakfast. He was rebuilding himself from the inside out. You see, eggs are not just food. They're medicine disguised as a meal. They heal blood vessels, boost hormones, and recharge the mind. And unlike pills or powders, your body recognizes them instantly. It knows exactly what to do with real nutrition. But before you rush to the kitchen, let me show you something even more important: the precise way to eat them so your body absorbs every drop of that power. Because timing and preparation make all the difference between ordinary results and extraordinary transformation. Let's talk about that next. 4. Real stories, Real results. Real stories, real results. Over the years, I've learned that science can explain the how, but it's people who show us the why. I've watched hundreds of men regain not just their physical strength, but their sense of pride and confidence. All from one simple change in their morning routine. Let me tell you about a few of them because their journeys might sound a lot like yours. James, a 67-year-old retired firefighter from Ohio, sat in my office one morning looking defeated. He said, "Doctor, I still love my wife, but my body doesn't seem to remember how to show it." His blood tests looked fine. Heart, cholesterol, everything normal. What was missing was circulation, the life force that drives a man's vitality. I asked him to trust me and start eating 2 soft-boiled eggs every morning, 30 minutes after waking with a glass of warm water. 2 weeks later, my phone rang. It was James. He said, "Doc, something's changed." I wake up with energy again. My wife noticed before I even said a word. Then there was Robert, 72, a gentleman from Texas who struggled with restless nights, waking up 3 or 4 times to use the bathroom. His wife told me he seemed older than his years, quiet and distant. A month after starting the same morning egg routine, his sleep improved, his prostate symptoms eased, and his mood lifted. He walked into my clinic with a grin and said, "Doctor, I feel lighter, younger." My wife says, I even walk differently. And I'll never forget Harold, 71, who had lost hope entirely. For him, this wasn't about sex. It was about dignity. He wanted to feel strong again. After 3 weeks, he called me with laughter in his voice, saying, "Doc, I finally feel like myself again." That's the moment every doctor lives for. Not when lab numbers improve, but when a man looks in the mirror and sees life in his eyes again. Stories like these remind me that the body never forgets how to heal. It just needs the right trigger. And as powerful as these results sound, they only happen when you do one thing correctly. Prepare and time your meal the right way. Let me show you how to do it step by step so your body absorbs every ounce of strength waiting inside that humble egg. How to eat it the right way. 5. How to eat it the right way. Gentlemen, this is where everything starts to come together. The timing, the preparation, and the consistency. I've seen men do everything right, but still miss the results they deserve simply because they didn't understand how their body works in the morning. The secret isn't just in the egg itself, but in when and how you eat it. Your body follows a rhythm, and if you feed it at the right time, you'll unlock the full potential of this natural powerhouse. Here's what I've learned from decades of working with men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. Your hormones follow the sunrise. Between 6 and 7 in the morning, testosterone levels peak naturally. That's when your body is most ready to absorb nutrients, rebuild cells, and strengthen blood flow. So, this is the perfect window to give it what it craves. Eat your eggs within 30 minutes after waking, not later. That's when the body listens best. I always tell my patients to start with 1 egg a day for the first week, especially if they're new to this routine or worried about cholesterol. After 7 days, move to 2 eggs daily. Soft boiled or gently scrambled in a little olive oil works best. You don't need salt or butter, just let the natural flavor do its job. Pair it with a glass of warm water to help the body activate circulation. And above all, stay consistent. 2 weeks of discipline will do more for your energy than a year of half-hearted effort. One of my patients, David, 69, once laughed and said, "Doc, I never thought something so simple could work." He'd been skeptical at first, but he followed every instruction. And by the second week, his mornings felt alive again. The fog lifted, his energy returned. That's when he told me, "You were right. It's all about the timing. You see, the body rewards precision. When you treat it with care, it responds like an old friend eager to help you feel young again. But understanding how to eat is only half the story. The real question is why this works so powerfully. What happens inside your body that makes this simple breakfast transform your entire day? Let's open that door together. Why it works so powerfully. 6. Why it works so powerfully. I've treated men for more than 30 years, and I can tell you nothing surprises me anymore. But what still amazes me is how something as small and ordinary as an egg can spark such extraordinary change inside the male body. The secret lies in how your body responds to real nutrition. When you give it what it has been craving for years, it doesn't just thank you, it transforms you. It's as if your system has been waiting for that one signal to wake up and start working like it used to. Here's what happens the moment you make this a morning habit. Inside your bloodstream, there's an amino acid called larginine found in eggs. It converts into nitric oxide, a natural compound that relaxes and opens blood vessels. Think of your circulation like a network of highways. Over the years, traffic has slowed, lanes have narrowed, and everything moves sluggishly. Larginine is the construction crew that clears the roads, smooths the lanes, and lets your blood flow freely again. When that happens, every organ, including your heart and your most private one, receives a fresh, powerful rush of oxygen and nutrients. You start feeling alive again, not because of chemicals, but because your body is finally doing what it's meant to do. Then comes the duo of zinc and vitamin D, the real drivers of testosterone. These two work hand in hand, signaling your body to boost natural hormone production. When testosterone rises, everything else improves. Your muscles strengthen, your bones get sturdier, your focus sharpens, and yes, your performance and desire come roaring back. Meanwhile, choline and vitamin B12 act like electricians, repairing your nerves and reigniting sensitivity you thought was gone forever. Suddenly, you're not just more active, you're more present, more aware, more connected. I remember a patient named Edward, 73, who once told me, "Doc, I didn't know my body could still respond like this." That's the beauty of it. It's not magic. It's biology working exactly as nature designed it to. You just have to unlock it. And yet, food alone isn't enough. The body thrives when it's supported by the right daily habits, the kind that make these nutrients work even better. Let's talk about those habits next, because they can take your results from good to truly life-changing. Beyond the food, the lifestyle that keeps you strong. 7. Beyond the food, the lifestyle that keeps you strong. Gentlemen, let me tell you something I've learned after decades of practice. Food can heal, but lifestyle keeps you young. You can eat the perfect breakfast every day, but if you neglect your body, your mind, and your spirit, the results will fade. Vitality is a partnership between what you put in your body and how you live each day. I've seen men in their 70s outshine men half their age, not because they had better genes, but because they treated every day as a chance to rebuild, not retire. When I walk into my clinic early in the morning, I often think about my patients who changed their lives, not by doing something dramatic, but by doing something consistent. They walked every morning. They gave their bodies sunlight, fresh air, and movement. Just 30 minutes of walking a day opens your arteries, strengthens your heart, and helps those nutrients from your breakfast flow exactly where they're needed. It's simple, free, and far more powerful than any supplement you'll ever buy. Then there's sleep. Most men underestimate how critical rest is for testosterone and repair. 7 hours a night isn't laziness, it's recovery. While you sleep, your hormones reset, your blood vessels relax, and your brain clears the fog. Miss that sleep and you rob yourself of the progress your body is trying to make. And don't forget emotional health. Many men lose connection with their partners as they age, thinking that silence is strength. But the truth is, conversation, laughter, and affection are medicine too. The heart and mind are deeply connected to physical energy. I've seen men regain their drive simply because they began to open up to talk, to touch, to reconnect. When you share your energy, your body produces it in return. So, think of it this way. Your morning eggs build the foundation, but your habits are the walls and roof that protect it. Without them, the foundation can't stand. Combine the two, and you've got a house built to last. But here's what excites me most. When you commit to this simple routine, change doesn't just happen slowly. It happens week by week, and you can actually feel it. Let me show you exactly what that transformation looks like when you stay consistent. 8. What to expect week by week. What to expect week by week. When I guide my patients through this simple morning routine, I always tell them, your body won't just change suddenly one day. It will whisper first, then speak, then roar. You'll feel the transformation unfold gradually, almost like watching the sun rise. Every week, something new awakens inside you. I've seen it happen countless times, and each story still inspires me. In the first week, most men begin to notice a subtle shift. It's not dramatic yet, but it's there. You wake up with a little more energy. Your mind feels clearer, and that sluggish heaviness you've carried for years starts to fade. You might not even realize it at first, but your body is beginning to remember what it feels like to run efficiently again. Your blood is moving, your vessels are opening, and your hormones are starting to respond. That's the body's quiet thank you for giving it what it's been missing. By the second week, the difference becomes undeniable. You'll notice your mornings feel lighter, your mood steadier. Many men tell me they start waking up naturally before the alarm clock, something they haven't done in decades. That's your system coming back online. The signals between your brain, heart, and nerves are finally firing again. Some even notice the return of a certain morning vitality they thought was gone for good. In the third week, the energy stabilizes. You're no longer forcing yourself to get through the day. You're moving with ease, your posture changes, your confidence grows, and your partner starts to notice. This is when the spark returns. The fog that dulled your spirit begins to lift, and you feel proud of what you've regained. By the fourth week, it's no longer about change. It's about rediscovery. Men tell me they feel like a tuned-up engine, smooth and powerful. They sleep better, laugh more, and carry a quiet kind of strength that shows in everything they do. It's as if life has color again. But here's the part that most men don't expect. This transformation doesn't stop here. Once your body wakes up, something deeper begins to shift. Your mindset, your emotions, even your sense of purpose. And that, gentlemen, is where true vitality begins. Let's talk about that next. 9. The deeper meaning of vitality. When I talk about vitality, I'm not just talking about what happens in the bedroom or how strong your muscles feel. Vitality to me is something far deeper. It's the quiet fire that makes you wake up with purpose, the confidence that stays with you long after the morning ends. I've treated thousands of men, and almost every one of them came to me searching for more than just physical strength. What they truly wanted was to feel alive again, to feel connected to themselves, to their partners, and to life itself. I remember one of my oldest patients, Charles, 75 years old, who once said to me, "Doc, I just want to feel useful again." He wasn't asking for youth. He was asking for meaning, and that's the heart of it. True vitality isn't just about restoring performance. It's about restoring identity. When a man starts to take care of his body, something changes in his spirit. He walks taller. He speaks with more assurance. He becomes curious again about living. That spark you thought time had taken away, it never truly left. It was simply waiting for you to feed it. This is why I tell every man who sits across from me, your body isn't failing you. It's asking for your attention. Every heartbeat, every breath, every ounce of energy you feel is proof that your body still wants to fight for you. And when you give it what it needs, real food, real movement, real rest, you begin to see that vitality isn't measured by age. It's measured by how much life you're willing to put back into your days. I've seen men in their 70s start volunteering again, traveling again, even falling in love again. That's the power of health. It gives you back the freedom to live on your own terms. When you nourish your body, you nourish your soul. And when both are aligned, you don't just feel younger, you become unstoppable. But how do you begin this transformation tomorrow morning in a simple, practical way that any man can do, no matter his age or health? That's exactly what I'll share with you next. The small morning ritual that can change everything. 10. How to begin tomorrow morning. How to begin tomorrow morning. Gentlemen, here's where everything we've talked about comes to life. Change doesn't begin with big promises. It begins with small, deliberate choices made each morning, and tomorrow can be the first morning of the rest of your life. I want you to start simple. No fancy supplements, no complicated plans. Just you, your kitchen, and 2 fresh eggs. That's it. Tonight, go to the store and buy a dozen eggs, preferably free range if you can, but ordinary eggs will do just fine. When you wake up tomorrow, don't rush for the coffee pot. Take a moment to breathe. Boil those 2 eggs for about 5 minutes, just enough so the yolk is soft and full of life. Pour yourself a glass of warm water, sit down, and eat slowly. This isn't just breakfast. It's a promise to your body that you're taking control again. As you eat, I want you to think about what these eggs represent. They're not just nutrition, they're renewal. Each bite is fuel for your blood vessels, for your heart, for your mind. You've spent decades working hard, carrying burdens, giving to others. Now it's time to give something back to yourself. I've watched men who started this simple habit feel changes they never thought possible. Within weeks, they wake with more energy, laugh more easily, and move with confidence that had long been missing. One man told me, "Doc, I started this just to feel stronger, but now I feel alive again." That's what this is about, bringing life back into your days one morning at a time. You don't need to change everything overnight. Just start with this one ritual every morning without fail. Trust the process because consistency is more powerful than perfection. With each passing day, your body will remember how to perform, how to heal, how to feel young again. And once you begin, you'll realize this journey isn't just about eating better, it's about living better. Because the longer you do it, the more something remarkable begins to happen deep within you. Your body transforms, yes, but so does your heart, your mindset, and your connection to life itself. And that, my friends, leads us to the most important lesson of all. 11. Words from my heart to yours. Words from my heart to yours. Gentlemen, after more than 30 years of sitting across from men who've laughed, cried, and confessed their deepest fears, I have learned that the journey to vitality isn't about perfection. It's about courage. The courage to look at yourself honestly and say, I'm not done yet. I've met men who had lost hope, who thought their best days were behind them, and then I watched them come back stronger than ever. And every time I see it happen, it reminds me why I do what I do. Because helping a man reclaim his strength isn't just about medicine. It's about restoring his spirit. I want you to know something important. You are not broken. You are not past your prime. You are simply waiting to be reminded of what your body already knows. Every cell inside you still carries the memory of energy, power, and passion. When you give it the right care, good food, movement, rest, and love, it responds almost immediately. It doesn't matter how many candles are on your birthday cake. What matters is the fire still burning inside you. I've seen that fire come back in men who had given up on themselves, and I promise you it's still in you, too. One of my patients, Henry 74, told me once,